Hey everybody, this is Rydo and the new expansion for Hearthstone has arrived. It is called WitchWood, or the WitchWood actually. So, last time we did the rogue deck rebuilds, it's time for deck rebuilds, and while you're watching, please subscribe and click the notification bell. So now it's time to do Shaman deck rebuilds. So since we're here, let's just go ahead and look at what new cards are being added to Shaman. An Overload card, which would work fine on an Overload deck, so that's one's good. A Battlecry card that probably doesn't work very well at all, because so many cards now, everything from Mean Streets of Gadgetzan and older is now wild. So if you're going to make a standard deck and it's going to have Battlecries in it, you're going to be sort of limited. And next we have a Witch's Apprentice. Add a random Shaman spell to your hand. Like, there aren't too many Shaman spells, so this might be a little bit better than you think. If there's something that could double your battle cries, that would be nice, but I don't believe there is in Standard. There is probably in Wild. We have a spell to give a minion +2/+2. If it's an elemental, add a random elemental to your hand. That seems like a little bit too random. It's a fine card, I guess, in general, if you just ignore the part about trying to play it on an elemental. And it would be a little bit better playing on elementals, I guess. Here we have a Murloc with Echo, which probably means I should make a Murloc deck. And if your deck has only even cost cards instead of odd cost cards, deal 2 damage, that's not likely to happen. If we search the phrase even and we look at all cards in crafting mode, let's see. Even will also show up for the word 7, won't it? 7. Like, where's even in here? Event. Prevent has even in the middle of the name. So, even cost cards. Revenge has even in the middle of the name. Revenant has even in the name. So there's only 2 cards with even in it. That card and this card, the Kin Greymane. If your deck has only even cards, your starting hero power costs 1. So theoretically, if down the line there was 4 or 5 cards that benefited you greatly by having only even cost cards, that makes sense. However, you can't even really build a deck with even cards easily. You would have to go with 2s, click all the 2s, look through all of them, then you have to go to the 4s, and then the 6s, and then the 8s, and it'd just be a lot of work. I think it's probably time to make this guy our favorite too. Come on, how do I make something favorite? Like, come over here, and there we go. Let's change him back to that. Alright, where were we? I guess we start over. Shaman. I do have all 30 of the classic Shaman cards if I wanted to do that. I have 25 out of 30 of the Remorseless Winter, and I'm missing 8 of the WitchWood Awoken. So if I wanted to consider that, that would be something. So Murlocs. Start with the Murlocs. what is the best Murloc deck you can make in Standard, because it's pretty bad. First of all, you still have the Summon 10 Murlocs for Megafin, which is a great card to play with Murlocs. Then this freeze ones, and this summons 1/1s. So you really have to play Shaman if you want to play Murlocs now. You can't play Paladin or any other class not without some major penalties, and you're still going to be missing quite a bit. Adapt Murlocs. Like, so many have gone into Wild that you can put every single one I have, and it's not like I'm missing everything. If I had Amalgam, I guess I could play him. He is technically a Murloc, I suppose, because he is an all class. He is everything. Yeah, you might want to put Amalgam in every deck. So he might be... I wish there was a way you could flag cards and say, this is one I have high on my list. I want to make sure it's in my deck when I open a pack and have it. So is that it? Is that what you do with Murlocs now? Almost certainly it would be better to trade out a couple of these, and like drawing 2 cards not worth the totem, and let's see, do we still have the Lightning Storm spell, or is that wild too? Yeah, we still have Lightning Storm, so you almost certainly want that over these two. But I'm not sure there's much of anything else to do. Like Bloodlust over maybe this guy. Let's get rid of these two for some Bloodlusts. So this is barely a change at all. Just barely change. What is new here? Versus what I was playing before. The Ghost Light Angler is new. And nothing else. So that's nothing changed. Other than the fact that you really can't play Murlocs on any other in any other class. So come over here now and let's make an overload deck and see how much that's changed. So if I type in over and hit enter, this should be good enough for that, those two, that one. We need the spells that unlock overload cards. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Overload for 0. We'll take that. Deal 3 damage. Overload 1. Deal 1 more damage for 1 more mana. Deal 8 damage to a minion. Take that. Take those two, and that, and that. Like, Discover is also has over in the name, so that won't work. You know, in a weird way, this is probably a good card to put in the Murloc deck too. Transforming one of those Murlocs into a 5/5. So where's the one that unlocks? the, like, whenever you overload, gain 1 attack. That is now wild, so you can't play that, which kind of makes an overload deck pointless now. Because you really needed that. This one is wild. Battlecry unlock your overloaded crystals. Yeah, you just... I don't think there ever was a daily quest to play overload. But with this wild, with this wild, with this wild, you have 3 of the primary abilities just left out. This guy was a big player too. Yep. It's just pointless. This is wild too, so that hurts minions. Murlocs. Alright. How many was I missing? By the way, let's see, I'm missing like 6 cards. So fill it in, I guess. Let's just finish this, even though I've already given up on it. I need 2 more cards, and I don't even have 2 more overload cards. Is there like something in the crafting that I don't have? No, you literally would have to play every single overload card right now to get 30 cards. Like, all of these have overload affecting them one way or another. Every single card in the deck. If I had 1 more of these, I'd have 30 cards. That's all of them. Every single one of them. I mean, you really don't get a bigger story than that, showing you that they don't want you to play overload cards. So I guess we throw in the Witch's Apprentice. Was there something in the crafting that maybe would have changed this? Destroy your totems, gain +2/+2 for each one destroyed. The totem cruncher would have been cool. That would have worked nicely. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. Probably not that helpful. A new hero replacement, deal 3 damage to all minions. And then it has, I believe, the first passive hero ability. After you play a minion, add a random Shaman spell to your hand. And then repeat all the battle cries from cards you played this game. Which I'm not 100% sure that would work too well either. Let's see. If I was to just... Can I cheat this and type in cry? Yeah, I can. If we look at all the standard cards that have battle cry in the name, I don't think you're gonna... I mean, you could do this. Battle cry, your next battle cry triggers twice. If... That's kind of cool. Battle cry, restore 3 health. If you played an elemental last turn, summon 2/3/2. If you control all 4 basic totems, summon the Wind Lord. Battlecry, transform your minions into random ones. See, there was already a hero replacement card, so I don't know why they decided to give them specifically the Shaman one extra. Return other minions to your hand. They cost 1. Interesting. If you play an elemental... Yeah, there's a ton of Battlecry cards, but there's no real synergy there unless you are trying to do Cthulhu. And then there would be really, really good synergy if you went to the old gods. Where are we? We have to shift here. But to wild. Like, if we just looked at the old gods and how many of these battle cries give Cthulhu +1/+1, or do some things to Cthulhu. Give Cthulhu taunt. Give Cthulhu +2/+2. Give Cthulhu +2/+2. If you built a Cthulhu deck and then had that card that redid all of Cthulhu's things, that would be really great. Also, it would work even if you had played Cthulhu already, because his battlecry would activate, or at least in some way it would activate. So yeah, there's a crazy Cthulhu deck that you could build with that legendary, and I don't think much of anything else. Boring overload deck. Like, maybe we just won't have any more daily quests doing overload cards, because I definitely don't want to have to play this very often. But for experimental sake, since the Murloc deck hasn't changed really any, like, almost certainly I'm either gonna win this or I'm gonna lose it. There's not, I don't see a reason to do that. So we'll try out the overload deck. Give it one experimental run. Incomplete deck of a custom Shaman. Interesting. Which one was I gonna do? Overload? I'm gonna have to go back and delete that one. Overload and play and play. I wish I had something nicer to say about WitchWood. I really don't even have anything nasty to say about it. It's just kind of dull. Just a few cards. I would have preferred, honestly, if instead of them having 3 expansions this year, going down to 2 and more substantial cards. And also, honestly, I would also prefer if some of these cards were given away for free, so that you just have more new cards, because it doesn't feel like a lot has changed. Like, if somebody stopped playing Hearthstone, say 6 months ago, I'm not sure that they're going to feel that much of a difference, even if they did buy all the new cards that they had missed out in that 6 months. Yeah. This is definitely proving me right on the thought that I should have spent most of my gold buying classic cards, and that, for the most part, that's what I did. Let's see. Overload and overload. I just gotta have to wait here. I guess I could have did the totem. I kept asking what was the hero replacement card that let you summon the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I believe that's a special hero that you can only do in tavern brawls. I couldn't find an actual card that did it. It does exist, I know that much, but I think you don't get to play it, which is a shame. Like, I would have been rather happy to run against a few people who are using their hero power to summon the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse to win the game immediately. Like, that's the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh craziness that I would prefer to see. Let's see. Draw a card, deal 3 damage, and play this. And attack. And then end the turn. Seems like I'll probably win. But I'm not gonna enjoy it. This I guess is fine. It's a fine, like, first turn play, but I think most people would have killed this by now. Let's see, deal 3 damage. Attack. Attack. Draw a card. The card costs 3 less. What does this one do? At the start of your turn, summon a demon from your hand. See, these were cool cards. These secondary ability, passive ability cards. They weren't added in WitchWood, however. Let's see. This is actually working out way too well, filling my hand with spells. Let's see, what does this one do? Summon 3 1/1 dragons with demons with taunt. I hate this card. The Void Lord. Alright, do this. And attack that. And attack that. And then we'll just do this just in case. I lost my apprentice that was giving me spells. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna win now. This is gonna be slow. More than anything else, it's gonna be slow. Alright. I have 5, so I could do this, kill these 2, and then kill that. So I think that's the right move. There goes my overload guy. He was the only person in the field that could have won the game. Like, you might as well concede now on this deck because of that. It literally, like, maybe if I get Volcano and play that, that would stall long enough. But probably not. Let's see. Play this. Do this. Yeah, I only helped him out. Do this. And you really don't need 2 Doom Hammers in a deck, ever. So they've completely nerfed Overload. It's gone from being cards that you could play that would make you ahead of the power curve and potentially let you win if you can win early, and not have to pay the penalty of all those overloaded gems. Plus, before there was several cards that would unlock overloaded gems, and now none of those are allowed in standard. So now it's just every card is a bad card to play, and you're just gonna avoid any overload card no matter what. It ruins the entire concept of overload. I'm trying my best here, and I'm gonna lose. Like, Volcano might have saved me, but probably not. He's just gonna hellfire me twice. And there's nothing you can even tweak. I've been going back to some of these decks and trying to tweak them. There's literally nothing you can do. Let's just delete it. Delete it right now. And go and delete this unfinished custom Shaman too. Those were the only overload cards in standard. If I make a wild overload deck, I know how to do that. It certainly isn't going to get really changed by the WitchWood Shaman cards too much. Maybe I'll add Zap. Maybe I'll add the Apprentice. Otherwise, I think I'm not doing anything different. And Murlocs have just slightly changed, probably for the worse, but there's still, this is still a pretty decent Murloc deck in my opinion. Alright, well, that's Shaman deck rebuilds. Next we have Warlock and then Warrior, so only 2 more deck rebuilds and then I can call the night. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. When you subscribe, click that notification bell, please. If you want to support me even further, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.